Welcome to Behind the Badge with your hosts,
Lieutenant Ryan Williams,
and Officer Cammie Vandermolen.
your source for all things Spondy Police.
KFIZ today on a Friday. That means Behind the Badge. A weekly visit with Fond du Lac Police Department. Lieutenant Ryan Williams back in studio a second week in a row.
I know, I've been overworking myself. We gotta get Cammie back in here.
Yeah, right.
No, she actually, has another grandchild was born this week.
I
so.
knew that the grandchild was due, and everything's all good.
All good,
Baby
all good.
and mom are
Yep.
doing just fine.
Yeah, so she's gonna have a fun September because she'll be off probably for a little bit for that, and then she's going to Europe, so.
That's right. She got the big anniversary trip,
It's
right?
gonna be like old times where I just do everything.
There you go. That's right. We love having you here.
I like being here, so.
Couple things we're going to talk about. I know one is speed enforcement.
Yeah, it's like sometimes the topics just kind of choose themselves, I think, and it just kind of seems to be the going trend is we've had a lot of complaints about speed in different areas of the city, and I just want to kind of talk about some of the efforts that we're making in enforcing speed violations. So actually, when I started here a very long time ago, we had the opportunity, the State Patrol came in and certified us on laser. So there's two different disciplines. There's radar and laser. You know
Okay.
the difference there?
I do not know. Enlighten me, please.
So most squad cars have radar units installed in them. Radar units generally shoot out of the front and the back of a patrol squad. However, there are handheld radar devices. Now academy students are coming out as being radar certified. The radar is okay. I never was radar certified, by the way, so if I say something wrong, some state patroller is gonna come through this radio and strangle me, but I generally know the concept. So a radar shoots a very wide band out. So if you imagine you have a device in your car, it shoots a very wide band out, and what you need to do when you're doing radar is you need to physically look and say, okay, if there's two cars traveling side by side, you look at it and say, okay, well that car is traveling faster, so radar's picking up both numbers, and that faster one has to be the car that's visually tracking faster. So that's the unit, that's the speed, and I lock in that speed and I could pull over for going that speed on radar. Which it's been around forever, it's held up in court forever, it's a good system. But as people know, there's radar detectors out there. Now we have the famous Google Maps. There's an officer in the area.
Thumbs down.
Yeah, there's a real funny one I think of an officer sitting that the officer's not there anymore, hitting the not there anymore button while he's sitting on patrol there.
I love it.
But laser is a little bit more precise. Now laser is not something that's gonna generally that I know of shoot out of the front and the back of a squad car. That's the nice thing about radar. You can just have it always running.
What does that mean? Because yes, you mentioned the gun. That's
Yep.
obviously something you physically have to hold up, but you're talking the actual vehicle. So then,
Yeah, so that's actually a good point about radar. So some people don't realize that you can actually run radar when your car is moving too. So there's two ways you can run radar. You can do stationary radar, and then you can do moving radar. So it adjusts for the vehicle's speed, and as you're just generally driving down the road, if someone's coming at you at a high rate of speed, the radar will pick that up.
it will pick it up, and then is there a readout on a computer screen?
Yep,
on your computer screen.
It'll read out, the radar is like a separate unit that kind of sits
Okay.
on our dashboard.
Got it.
They're pretty low profile, but I remember the days when they used to take up quite a bit of dashboard space. But yeah, it sits on our dashboard, and you can actually set it, you can have it at an audible tone on it. So the radar's waves, they actually make an audible tone, and the higher pitched tone, the faster the vehicles. So you can just kind of be not paying attention, all of a sudden you hear a a real something, you're oh, there's this fast car, and then you can lock it in or whatever. So that is the nice thing about radar is you can do it while you're in motion. So laser.
Okay, that debunks a myth that I always thought. Well,
Yeah,
they're
some
driving, so
people-
they can't get us.
Yeah, some people think that. Some people definitely think that that's the case, but definitely is not the case. And then
Not that I ever speed.
right, no,
I
never,
speed.
no,
Never speed.
never. But laser's a little bit different, and laser, You kind of have to use the gun because it basically has almost like a red dot that you put right on the front or back of a car. License plates are a good target, and it shoots a beam super fast at that you put the red dot on. It shoots it towards that, and it comes back. So it goes to the car, reflects back off the car, and it registers your speed right there. It'll tell you exactly what distance you hit it from and how fast that vehicle's going. Laser is a lot of fun. I'm gonna be honest, like just kind of registering people, you just kind of put the red dot, pull the trigger, and it tells you the speed. So it's very user friendly, but you have to generally shoot it out of an open window. You can still do it out of a closed window. So you imagine in winter how much fun it'd be to run a laser, but it works a lot better on an open window. So if you see those cars that are kind of pulled, like cop cars pulled kind of perpendicular to the road, and you're doing traffic enforcement, they're probably running laser. They could be doing, there's handheld, like I said, there's handheld radar units as well. But laser, in my opinion, is a little bit more precise. And I have taken the class. So back to how I went on that huge tangent. The last time we hosted a laser class was 20 years ago, and I was probably myself and a group of other officers were the ones that attended that. So Fond du Lac, for whatever reason, I don't know. This is the first time I've been in this position, in charge of training and stuff. We haven't had a laser class. Now, people are coming out of the academy as radar certified, so there's still people doing stuff for speed. But like I said, laser is, without a better word, more fun and a little bit more precise, and it's just it's easier to do than radar. So we just recently hosted a laser course, and I think we sent like 20 some people. There was a high interest from the Fond du Lac Police Department to attend this laser school. And what was really cool, I know we've had him, I'm pretty sure we've had him in here, Nolan Leineck. He was a CSO, we hired him as a police officer. His dad, his name is Scott Leineck, he worked for the State Patrol. He was the one that came in and taught our laser course. So he came in, he did 3 separate courses, and now most of our police department is laser certified now. And I think the citizens may have noticed because there has been a lot of speed enforcement lately. So I mean a lot. I think the first day after all the classes were complete, I think there was something like 46 traffic stops.
Wow.
Yeah, which is a lot, but it also could say, hey, maybe we have this problem that's gone unchecked for a while, and now that we're, why is there that much opportunity out there, right? So we have been kind of taking a new initiative on speed enforcement. With that being said, we can't be everywhere at all times. We've had some fatal crashes recently that makes us think that, hey, maybe we need to be doing a better job of hitting the streets, and even some of the obscure streets. So without a cop physically being there doing radar and laser enforcement, right now in the state of Wisconsin, there's nothing that we can do. There's no like traffic cameras, where I can just take a picture of you going through a red light or going to speed, and then I can send you a ticket, right? That legislation does not exist, nor do I probably want that to exist, but and I don't think most people do. But the technology is out there, so some states you have that. What the other thing we do is when we get numerous complaints about speeding, is we'll put out our radar trailers. And I think you've probably seen these things. They are not put out there to see how fast you can go. No. And they work. Like I've seen them because I know the locations, because I help put them all with my CSOs, and I'll see people hit the brakes when they see that radar trailer. And that's generally the idea, right? That's an area right now. I can tell you there's one by WLA, and there's one on Scott Street on the way back from the high school. So we're kind of concentrating them in speed enforcement areas, school zones, because it's the start of school. Let's start developing good habits. But those radar trailers, they don't just show a pretty display and all that. They actually track all that data. So they're recording how much they record every single vehicle, and they say, okay, what is the medium speed on this road? Like, are most people speeding? Are most people obeying the law? How fast is the fastest person going on? What's the medium speed? And then what hours a day are there more speeders? And what that does is, we start doing enforcement. Instead of having to cover Scott Street 24/7, we're like, hey, Scott Street from 4 o'clock on, which, we could probably make that guess because it's after school. But that is when we're seeing a high grade of speeders. Now we're gonna do some select enforcement in that area to try to, make people slow down during those times. So there's a lot more to those trailers than just kind of like getting people to generally slow down, but the visual that also tracks that data, and we were able to make adjust our patrol strategies based off that. And I don't know if everybody knows that. I didn't know like all that when I was just a normal citizen and stuff like that.
No,
but
it's very informative.
It's a very kind of handy tool. And we did just get 2 new traffic trailers, so and they're solar powered, which is great. Like we can just kind of leave them out, and we have an old one too, which is battery operated, but if that one goes out, it's usually only out for like a week or so, because then we have to recharge it. They all collect data though, and they're another useful tool in getting people to slow down. And we get a lot of complaints, and I think there's frustration sometimes on the citizens' point, because they're like, what, no one's doing anything. How many streets are in the city of Fond du Lac?
A lot.
A lot.
Yeah.
So if you generally think that how many officers are patrolling at any time, could be anywhere from probably like 5 to 12 to maybe 14 on real busy times. And then you add our call load on there, we're not gonna be able to get to all the streets at all the times. So, it's funny, I just heard a complaint. There was a truck with a trailer parked on a road, and they were wondering, and it was left overnight, and we're wondering how we didn't do anything about it. Well, if we don't know about it, like, we're not gonna get down every single street, like, it's just not feasible. I mean, if you wanna send us 50 more cops, we'll take them, like, and we could do that then. But right now, so we need the help of the community to kind of let us know of stuff, and then, we track data, and sometimes the data doesn't match up. Like that, some people are like, wow, man, they're just speeding. They're speeding down this road. It's crazy. Someone's gonna get hurt, and then we'll do our enforcement. We'll set up our traffic trailers and stuff like that. And sometimes the data doesn't match. Like it's maybe more of a perception thing than a reality thing, or maybe just those trailers made people slow down, which is also like part of the effect. So there's a lot of variables to kind of think about, but we do know that if you do go slower, especially when there's people walking around, it's safer for everybody, and that's what we generally want. And there's no quota of, hey, you gotta write this many traffic sites or anything like that. There's not, but we probably could do more, and we have been doing more lately. And when we have like bigger crashes in the city, that kind of makes us say, hey, let's really buckle down and kind of concentrate on this, because this could be a huge problem, and maybe it has been a problem, and we need to reconcentrate our efforts on fixing it.
What about at the bottom of Johnson Street Bridge, and specifically heading to the east? Because I feel like every single vehicle is going at least 45.
All right, so that's near and dear to my heart. I used to sit there all the time. So I would get, the going east. Now people are like, oh, well, the hill, I was going down the hill. I would sit with that laser, and as soon as those vehicles crossed the hill is when I would hit. Like, I would get them right when they crossed the hill. So it was nothing about gravity pulling them down those extra miles an hour. And we're generally seeing speeds of like up to 50 miles an hour, if plus,
I believe it.
going over that hill. So that's gonna be an easy ticket. I don't care what officer you are. If you're going 20 over, you're gonna get a ticket. And beyond that, I can't give you a magic number, but if you keep it under a certain amount, definitely, like, if you're really worried, keep it under 5 over, and you should be good to go. But anytime you go that fast, you're just gonna get a ticket.
Yeah.
And that's just the thing about it. And usually, so I've done this test because I used to work nights and had some time. If you gravity alone, you might get 2 or 3 miles an hour.
No, I agree. But it's true, right? Yeah.
Yep.
For whatever reason, they are picking up that speed prior to the crest of the hill.
Yes, and it would be amazing. And what they do when you learn laser and radar is you have to guess the speeds and then you buzz the car. So you're like, okay, well that car looks like it's going 35, then you hit it 35. Like it's amazing how close you can get to predicting, because that helps you too to like visually see the car. Like that's going fast. Okay, that's about where I thought it would be, and then there you go. So yeah, a lot of stuff about traffic.
And then an update on Citizens Academy.
Yes, we had a flurry of applications. We are still accepting applications, so we still have some room. We're probably gonna cap the class around like 25. So go to our website, find out about the Fond du Lac Citizens Academy, get your applications in. That's gonna be kicking off in October. You have like probably the rest of this month, but don't wait, because once the class is full, we're gonna just stop accepting applications.
Awesome. Behind the Badge, KFIZ today.